follow me when the sky starts to change. Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
Will you follow me? We won't leave
your soul. Ooh, we watch it fall. Now you clouds are all gone. Come on, set your light through. Just set your...
With anime in our souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a group of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling events of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all you nerds out there. So grab your steel chair, yell for the table, and get put through an experience unlike any other. Brought to you, of course, by AniMa W3 Studio. This is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. Welcome, everybody. It is a lovely Friday evening. I think there were some storms going around, but hey, no storms around these parts here because we had some SmackDown. We were in Boston, Massachusetts, and kind of a cool show, and I don't mean in the good, cool way, kind of a not very hot show, not a lot of heat going behind it, but we had some stories kind of pushed forward, some shaking around when it comes to the roster and all that, but we'll dive into all that here in just a moment. Welcome, of course, to our returning viewers and listeners. Hope you guys have been having a good day and good evening, or whenever you're listening to us or watching us. If you're not watching us live, which if you're not watching us live, what are you doing? That's not the ideal experience. Watch us live after each of these shows that go on in the WWE sphere. But of course, if you're new here, you see us three on your screens, or you'll hear us in your lovely ear holes talking to you. Quick introductions for you people. Of course, I am one of your co-hosts here, your reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the most decorated podcaster in all of sports and entertainment. I'm known as around these parts as Watkins, and I'm going to help guide us through these wrestling events, these wrestling storylines, and help keep the conversation going nice and smooth. And of course, there are two lovely gentlemen here to help me do that endeavor. First and foremost, to my right, he is a very positive individual trying to bring out the brightness, the brightest in all good things, whether it's good, bad, or mediocre at best. There's always a bright light in there. He is known around these parts as a visionary. He's also known as a revolutionary. He's also known as Goldberg's #1 stan of all time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the visionary typhoon himself, Legend D Vash. Vash, how you doing tonight?
Chat, I was doing a lot better until maybe 25 seconds ago when I hear one of my good friends here, our host of the show, literally just called me Goldberg biggest fan. It's insane. And who's you talking to? It's insane. But like he said, it's your boy, the legendary humanoid typhoon, is Legend Divash, and I'm here as your visionary, the vision with my squad, with the Bronson of the Bronsons, and we're here to talk about the Friday Night SmackDown because we got a new transfer. It seems like we got LA Knight in Raw, and then we got Sami Zayn for SmackDown starting tonight because my man Solo spoke to Sami, said, "Get the fuck out of my house, get the fuck out of my ring. You don't belong here." Sami said, actually, I just paid my rent. I actually do belong here. I went from building A to building B, so I'm under this roof. So we do belong in the same place, my guy. So I love that start of the show for that part because the jokes are there. Just seeing Solo and Sami being intertwining within the chemistry again is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And to see Solo do is like.
Oh yeah, so
it's fucking hilarious. So I have a good time with it. But Drop, how you been? Nice to see you.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. Like I spoke about before we decided to go live. The SmackDown had a few good parts in between, but for the most part, I really wasn't feeling the show tonight, and I noticed that was an opinion that seems to be pretty common within the space right now. I know JD's mentioned it. I know other people online has mentioned it. I've even seen people that typically, enjoy WWE, like even the people that praise the company, even come out and say this might have been, a very weak show. Because I will say that, there was some things I was a little confused on the way that they were leading it up to. There's more questions than answers, if I'm going to be completely honest, when it comes to the sort of direction that we're heading down of everything. But that's why we're here tonight, to talk about exactly that, so you can voice our opinions. And if you guys, of course, have any thoughts of your own, be sure to let us know in the comments if you want to discuss it or anything, or if you happen to be a part of the chat itself, be sure to let us know. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, if the genius of the mat himself is saying he's got more questions than answers, yeah, WWE, you kind of doing some funky things if that's the case. Because drop this box here is he's here to help us process these stories and all that stuff. And yeah, we've got some things we gotta answer, get some questions gone and all that stuff. But yeah, another SmackDown. I've said this before a couple times with some of these SmackDowns, and this one's very much the same case. This could have been an email. Literally, they could have just sent an email to all these subscribers and been like, "Hey, here's what happened on SmackDown. You didn't miss much." But again, there were a couple highlights I think that
Exactly.
will be worth talking.
Like I said during our pre-show while the stream was starting, this show was entertaining. Was it good? No. But it was entertaining to watch. I had a good time watching with my wife. We were laughing in a few moments. There's a few segments I had a good laugh out of it, a good giggle, but it was entertaining. Was it a good show overall? No, because it fell a few times flat. Like I agree with Drop, I was asking more questions. Why couldn't a champion that's supposed to be there hasn't shown up there, or show face, or hasn't had a title defense in almost like 3 weeks? But hey, we will talk about that soon.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna dive right in here. But of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like the stream. Every like means Sydney gets a treat. So hey, 10 likes means she gets a whole bone. So if you want Sydney to get her bone, you want her to get her nut, as they would say on South Park. Yeah. Like the stream. Make sure there are 10 likes on there. If not, well, sorry about that, Sydney. Looks like you're gonna have to work for ICE. And if you know, you know. Watch season 27 of South Park. I'm gonna keep pushing this season of South Park. It is fun as hell. So, without all that said, with all those introductions, with all those stuff out of the way, let's dive right into SmackDown. Let's start with our headline story here. How we even started the night. Vash kind of started alluding to it because Sami Zayn is now here on SmackDown. He appeared last week, defeated Solo Sikoa via roll-up. He had a match on Monday against Rusev that got interrupted by Solo and the MFTs. So, hey, Sami Zayn's like, all right, bet. I'm going to be on SmackDown now. Why? Well, apparently he got woken up by Solo to be like, hey, you know what? Instead of going for the world title, I'm going to go for another title that I haven't won, the U.S. title. Because I've already beaten you, Solo. You want to say you stomped me out? You didn't really stomp me out, buddy. I'm still here, and I'm coming after you now. Leads to a good old beatdown. Jimmy and Jacob come out for the save, and guess what? Playa, holla, holla, bling, bling, dollar, dollar. We got a tag team match as our main event yet again. Oh boy, aren't y'all excited to get another tag team match in our main event of SmackDown and Raw and just WWE weekly shows in general? Isn't it great? Isn't it fantastic?
I remember back in the day when we had free TV of John Cena versus Batista, or like John Cena versus, anybody. Or we had on a Friday night SmackDown by Teddy Long saying, you'll be versing The Undertaker.
Yeah. Like
on a free TV on a Friday night SmackDown, guys. It was that cool. Now we have a look. Overall, I had a good time watching the match of Sami Zayn and Jacob Fatu, the whole craziness, the hot tag of Jacob Fatu and all those things. But when the Bloodline 3.0 looking this weak and looking like they're kind of fumbling, like it doesn't look realistic when they're supposed to be a powerhouse. Jacob Fatu shouldn't be beating them like a boulder and treating them like they're dog water in this park.
Yeah. I think one thing to kind of note with like the MFTs losing and all that, it's mainly Solo losing.
Yes.
like he's losing to Sam. Like he lost to Sammy twice. Like each week he's lost to Sammy, which means he's probably going to retain his title against Sammy because of the whole 50-50 booking WWE still likes to do in this day and age. Yeah, so like I think with this, there's mainly the caveat with like Sammy here, because like Sammy's whole thing was like, I'm gonna win a world title. I need to win a world title. I need to win a world title and all that. But now he's gone to SmackDown and he's going after the US title, which, to be fair, he not only did beat Solo last week, he beat him this week too. But yeah, he's never held the US title. So that's fair. That's a fair point. However, you were going for the world title, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's where your momentum was going.
Yep.
And yeah, drop. Maybe you can help me understand this. Like, do you see sense in why Sammy would have gone to SmackDown, going for the US title instead of like sticking to Raw, trying to go for that world title? Or like, I mean, now he's on SmackDown, his world title contendership is Cody. Like, are we gonna go into a feud with him and Cody eventually when he's done with Drew? I don't know. Talk to me, Drop. What are you feeling about Sammy on SmackDown?
I don't mind it because, like I said in chat, it seems like that was LA Knight's replacement because
Mhm.
they didn't outright confirm that LA Knight's on Raw, but you can just see since he's been there on a regular basis that now he's a Raw guy. So
Yeah.
with equal exchange, I mean, Sammy makes a lot of sense because they're both big stars. But it's like, I understand wanting to get the accolade and everything when it comes to having all these different kinds of titles under your belt because, I mean, hey, even John Cena could even consider doing that considering he's never been an IC champion. And it's his
Mhm.
last year to really do whatever he needs to really reach something like that because he's done everything else beyond that. So it's like I can
Yeah.
understand that sort of mindset that Sammy has, but at the same time, when we were looking at him on Raw, he was wanting to go after that world title. And now in my head, I'm a little confused because I don't know if that story between him and Seth is done. I don't know how they could logically make a story for him on SmackDown if that is the plan. Because I thought it was plain as day with him on Raw, doing that stuff with
Mhm.
Seth eventually down the line would make a lot of sense if they headed down this direction. But then you got the bloodline getting involved again, and it's typically the same people that are part of this whole bloodline vortex, where it's either a Sammy or Jacob or a Jimmy. I mean, if Jey Uso was on SmackDown, he probably would be dealing with the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm wondering if things are changing and they're trying to restructure something before we get to a Royal Rumble and Mania next year. Because Sammy was my top pick to win the Rumble, which it could still happen, but I don't know. I just can't really see like a thought out story on SmackDown, at least that would make sense. Like, sure, he can go after Cody and everything, but then we hear the whole thing on how, they don't want to do anything with a heel Cody and everything, which I do firmly believe that's the case as
Mhm.
well with a lot of the reports. And Cody's just even spoke about it himself. He'd just rather be who he is now because, I mean, hey, you got a role model there like John Cena was. You had him do that whole thing with you when it came to passing the torch at SummerSlam. That's pretty much like a lot of these little kids idol now. So I highly doubt,
Yeah.
especially with money involved, they would want to head down that direction because, I mean, you can't just turn John Cena face and then turn Cody heel and then do all this other stuff. So it's like I'm just very curious to see like what's the end goal for Sammy, because it can't just be this bloodline shit over and over and over again, because I'm
Yeah.
even getting tired of it. And to me at least, I don't know if I can really take them as a legitimate threat, because it's almost like Bowser with the
Mhm.
Koopalings, and Bowser is always eating the pinfall, but the Koopalings are fine. But that's Bowser. That's King Koopa. He shouldn't be taking any pinfalls. Solo's taken
Yeah.
2 straight pinfalls within the week. Like, that's not a good look on a champion. Like, I can understand one time if you hypothetically want to build that to like a potential match, but 2 weeks in a row is extreme. Like, I don't. There's not a lot of champions that we have currently in WWE that I can say get pinned all the time unless it's leading to some match, which it probably is. But 2 straight weeks is pretty crazy. It's almost like, do I take Solo Sikoa as like a legitimate threat or anything? Because
Great.
if anything, it's his lackeys that are more of a threat. Like Hikuleo, he's more of a threat himself than their own leader. Like, your leader should be the ultimate threat. He's not a threat at all.
No, and that's why I wanted to make my comment earlier about like how Solo seems to be the weakest part of this group, and at least when it comes to a story, I could see where it gets to a point where it's like, okay, Hikuleo, JC Mateo, and Tongaloa realize this. They're like, oh, you're supposed to be the leader, but you're kind of a loser, dude. Like, and end up just kind of kicking him out of the group. And maybe that's when Tamatonga comes back. I mean, I'm not saying Tamatonga should be the leader, because that'd just be like having one of the hyenas from the Lion King lead the pack. It's like, do you really want to do that? Do you really want what was it, Cheech Marin as one of the hyenas just leading the lion pack? Are you sure about that? Or Whoopi Goldberg? You want one of those hyenas doing that? No? Okay, great. So whatever. So I could see something happening like that, but no, I feel you there, because like Solo, as good as he's been getting on the mic recently, his character's kind of taking a hit right now with
Yeah.
with these losses. And granted, I know it's only been a couple losses. I get it, people, but it has not been a good look for him at all.
It
And
feels flat because
Mhm.
you had Jacob Fatu, where he was dominant. He took Braun Strowman out. He's been dominant over the past 6 months, leading to become the U.S. champion, and then has a short. Like, look, I don't mind his short reigns, but if it holds easy when it's
Mhm.
2 or 3 opponents, but like Drop said, we have Solo losing 2 times back to back, and Sami when it comes to roll up or when it comes to a pin, it just feels that we have a champion here but losing twice. It's not like it would be believable if Solo got knocked out by a Superman punch or thrown to a table and then got pinned. Like, it's more believable. But just by all the chaos in a tag team match, it feels like at least the tag team part saves it. And also with Sami, he has beaten Solo before. They have chemistry. They have years prior, I will say, but it just falls flat and I feel bad for Solo because I know he has potential. I was very happy, by the way, when he opened the show. I was impressed. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
Solo's gonna open the show. That's good. The higher of Triple H believes that he got it. I felt like he got a hold of the crowd very well. The crowd said, I believe something between the lines of Solo suck or something like that. But then he had the control. He held the control of the crowd very well. But it's just that, again, the booking has been very wonky tonight, and that's the thing. I don't know who was the writers behind this, but it was very wonky of the choices we had.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too, like, this all just feels like a side mission for not only Solo Sikoa but Jacob Fatu, because like the whole crux of this story is Jacob versus Solo, and now we're getting like this whole little side thing of Solo versus Sammy, which I mean, I'm sorry again, like I've dealt with WWE enough, me dropping Vash. I've dealt with WWE long enough to know that they love their 50-50 booking. That's why every time there's a go home show, it's like, oh yeah, that person stood tall. That means they're not winning at the PLE. And 9 times out of 10, that is definitely the case that happens. Very few times it's not the case, but that, again, very few times, especially when it comes to WWE. Yeah, it just and that's what's kind of taking me out of it personally. Just like, I know that I know that Solo's gonna win, and we're gonna still plod along to get to that Jacob Fatu match, that rematch that he needs and deserves. But yeah, it just sucks that we have to feed Sammy to that. But I mean, again, like, Sammy's one of those characters who he gets better the more he loses like that, because he's just the ultimate underdog. But yeah, it kind of derails him from getting to that world title picture, which, I mean, he better be winning the Rumble if that's the case. Like, you had freaking Jey Uso win the Rumble this past year. Have somebody like Sami Zayn win it this coming year and
Exactly.
really start like doing something with it.
Yeah.
Uh, but and I mean, like the guys kind of alluded to, I mean, the match itself, like, and honestly, you're gonna hear this a lot when it comes to the tag team matches tonight. Because guess what? It's almost like the same kind of tag team match you get. It's just the same formula, and it just a lot of it just kind of feels the same. I will say some of the action and one of them was at least really good, but like it's just a lot of the same beats of like, oh, the faces get the early going, but oh no, the heels they put down the one guy until the hot tag, and then maybe you'll get some quicker action, but maybe you won't. I don't know. Who knows? We'll get to that later on with those ones. So it's like match quality, and
Yeah.
at least for me, the formula is just like it's getting stale, man.
It really
Like,
is, because it's either this person or that person or one or the other. Same concept, same mechanism, same thing all around. It's almost like I watched this match on a loop. It's almost like you're stuck on a Groundhog Day. You're just watching the same thing happen over and over and over again. That's essentially what it was tonight when it came to this match. It just felt like we've seen this before. There's not really anything coming out of it, like we talked about earlier. The whole thing with Solo Sikoa not really feeling legitimate because of who he is now and what he's trying to represent. So it just takes you out of it completely, because it's like if this was like an ultimate threat, like if you compared like Seth's group going up against Sami, Jacob Fatu, and Jimmy Uso, I can see some legitimacy with that, because they are legitimate. Seth's a world champion. They've been really pushing the needle when it comes to things that they want to fulfill. Check mark when it comes to Seth getting that world title. Check mark for him taking that moment from CM Punk like he said he would. Solo has promised many things. He has not delivered on any of those promises. So why should I believe in him? Why should I believe in his group? I mean, I'm not going to look at Hikuleo and be like, well, the dude's tall, he's big, he's strong. I should take it seriously. Sure, I could take him serious in terms of size, but you're not really giving me much to work with beyond that, and that's the main issue.
yeah.
If you're gonna have this be a regular routine, do not have all of these different factions on here.
Yeah. Like, and just do more with it. Like a good thing I heard earlier today, I was listening to Cultaholics weekly podcast, and one of the guys on there said that he really likes JC Mateo and he wants to see more of him because he never got a chance to like see. Yeah, exactly. So it's like he never got to really see a lot of his New Japan stuff or like any of his other indie stuff or whatever. So it's just like, I want to see more of JC Mateo. Let me see more. Like WWE, showcase the guy. Like have a singles match where he's like actually going out and doing work. Like every week it's almost the same thing every week. They play it so safe on these weekly
Oh my
shows.
God. I was just about to say the same thing, that they're playing it safe. I feel like, I hate to say these words, but for anybody that watches anime and know this word, and this feels like not a Bleach or Naruto filler where it fills in the gap. It feels like a One Piece filler where the One Piece filler is
The ones in
canon
front
to
of
the story.
movies.
Yeah, where it's canon to the story, but not fully canon. Where like, hey, you can watch the side story, but it's not fully there. So that's what kind of reminds me with this weekly show. Raw on Netflix feels more story driven, feels like more matches driven. But SmackDown, it feels like the 1.5 episode. It's not episode 2, but it's 1.5. And that's why a lot of people complain. Another example here, Chad, for anybody that don't watch anime, like Boba Fett. People was like, oh, that's technically Mandalorian 2.5 because it's like a side story that's going to connect to much later. And that's what people complaining about. So it's the same aspect how I was watching SmackDown with our community right there in Discord. And while I was watching it, myself, I was locked in because I have to do mental notes. I have to write on the thread because that's how I do my notes sometimes. And then I didn't do much of notes. I did more on the mental, but I was more observing. I was like, this is not as good as it should be because I'm not locked in like I am on a Monday Night Raw show where I'm writing the notes, I'm writing the thread, or I'm talking to the guys. Hey, this happened. Oh my God, that was good. But on SmackDown is more like I'm observing to see what's happening and then come on the show. Let's talk about the say, okay, goods, maybe bad things. And that's not what I'm really happy about or thrilled, which I am known as Optimistic Vash. It's just more like I'm expecting more, and more is not coming out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it blows. It blows. But we could go on all night about like how things just don't feel quite right. I will say a big highlight from this whole stuff is just Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn interacting with each other. I thought it was really good. Like we had the backstage thing where like Jacob's just like, yeah, he's my brother, but I can't trust you. I don't even know you. And he walks away after being like, Yarmin. The
Oh my
little
God,
moment that Sammy and Jimmy have.
I love that because
It's like
his response,
Yarmin.
his response to Sammy was like, no. First off, is how Sammy was like, yo, man, I appreciate you for helping me out, Jimmy, and everything. And then Sammy said, yo, Jake, I appreciate you too. I love how Jake just comes up and like, I don't even know you. I came out here for my brother.
I don't know you.
And then I love how Sammy responds like, yeah, but if he's your brother, Jimmy is my brother. So if he's my brother, that means we are good. And for anybody that has never had been in this position as childhood friends or as adult friends, where when you meet an acquaintance of a friend of yours, you question him in your head mentally. But when your friend tells you, nah, bro, you could trust him because I trust him, I trust you, so you gotta trust him.
Mhm.
It's that type of triangle, trifecta, be fucking you up in the head. And it was just funny because Sammy tried to do that to Jacob, and Jacob didn't give a fuck. He's like,
He's just
nah,
like,
you don't know what I mean? And Lee just laugh. And also, by the way, I love how Jacob walks out to the ring, hood as fuck, with the fucking ski mask on. Because in the ring, for anybody that noticed, he had it taken off because of the fight. After the fight, after everyone left the ring, he grabbed it, put it back on. He was like, yeah. Bro was back
like,
to normal.
I need to contain myself now. No. And then but the best part, because you do have a moment in the match where like Jacob kind of questions, oh, should I tag in Sammy? I don't know. He ends up tagging them in. They end up winning the match. And then they had a hug. They had a bro hug at the end. Dude, it warmed my heart a little bit. And
The hot tag was nice too. The hot tag with Sammy like just slap him and he just came out. You heard the crowd scream for it. The camera was right there on the angle. It just felt the spotlight. Yo, the whole segment wasn't amazing, but just certain moments it made it enjoyable. Like I said earlier, chat, it was entertaining. Not great, but it was not the best, but it was entertaining, and that to me, at least I could leave the show out of that. Like, hey, I was entertained. Well, wasn't the best, but I was entertained.
Plus Sammy hitting the Jacob Fatu taunt, like yeah, like right as the cameras are fading to black. I'm like, oh come on, don't fade to black yet. Let me see more of it, please. Somebody online, please give me the clip of when the show went off the air as they were like celebrating in the ring. I want to see all that. But yeah, I mean, again, Sammy's now on SmackDown. Good home for him, I think. He was kind of starting to be in the same boat that LA Knight was on SmackDown, where it's just like, all right, I kind of need a move so that we can do some different things, but it seems like he's still in this like bloodline-esque.
Exactly. I was about to say that's my one critique, that Sammy went back to a safe. The plan is safe, where Sammy is right now not good doing Raw stuff right now with like. There's a lot of big hitters right now going on. So they say, hey, let's bring Sammy back to the Bloodline story and just get him into the vortex. And I'm like, and also when Solo, or I forgot who was it that said it recently in an interview where I believe it was Solo that said, oh yeah, we're in the third inning of the Bloodline. So I'm like, how many fucking rounds has it been there? Because we passed the 8th inning a couple years ago. Are we in the 3rd game or are we in the 5th game? Because what the fuck just happened? So, like, that's my only complaint about Sammy being involved with the Bloodline Vortex. Exactly what Walker said. That's my only critique, is like, can we get something out of it? Cool. If we get the U.S. title off him, cool. Can we get Melo? Even Melo said it, and a few others. Like, can we get something out of that? But other than that, like that's my only highlight critique. Is like I want better for Sammy. We've been having this underdog story for the past 2 years, roughly. I want that evolve from the underdog to the crypto. Like, be the strong
Mhm.
hound you are.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing with Sammy, because it's like this is something that he was doing on Raw. The whole map was laid out for him. That's why I brought up earlier he was originally aiming for the world title. Now he's going for a mid-card title, which is fine if he wants to achieve something like that, because it would give it instant credibility considering who it's on compared to who it's on now. But at the same time, I mean, you gotta really pay the big bucks sometimes in terms of, you know, pushing somebody that's been in the game for a while to the next level.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping they can find some sort of thing with him, not just, oh, we had to figure out a third guy to help out Jacob and Jimmy, so we just threw Sammy on SmackDown. Like, I don't want that to be a recurring theme. I don't want this to turn
Yeah.
into some stupid War Games match in October or anything along.
They did promote it tonight, and just say, you want to know when they promoted it? Right before the main event.
Can we change things up? Can we change things up, guys? Well, let's talk about something that's a little different, shall we? With the WWE title picture, because Cody Rhodes was not on the show tonight because he was nursing his head from getting claymored through a table. You little bitch. How dare you? How dare you get injured? How dare you not suck it up or whatever?
By the
But
way, I love Drew just coming with the receipts. That's almost start
oh
off
yeah.
with.
Oh yeah, no, Drew came with a bunch of receipts because hey, he's got some splaining to do as he heads to the ring and tells us why exactly he claymored Cody through the table if it wasn't obvious already that he wants the title match and all that. But I do like how he tries to gaslight everybody with this, saying, "Oh, that everybody wants to blame me for it. No, this is all Cody's fault." And you know what? He makes a good point here where the match was ended and Cody just, cheap shots him, throws him into the corner and all that. So, you know what, Drew? I'm on your side on this. This is all Cody's fault. He's the one that started it. And Drew even said, you provoke me. I'm going to become the real nightmare, which is a really good play on words, especially like kind of going off of Cody and all that. So it seems like we're going down the road of Cody versus Drew. Whether that happens in Paris or not, it hasn't been announced yet. But I kind of hope this goes on for a little bit longer beyond Paris. I think this feud could have a lot of legs to stand on, especially in a promo battle between the two, like in-person promo battle. Because even Drew was mentioning how he was in Cody's position just 5 years ago, like the same exact position of being the man of the company and all that. And he just kind of evolved from that. And yeah, I thought this was probably one of the highlights of the night. Like I thought this was the biggest part, the biggest moment of the night, and really just like sold me more on Cody versus Drew. But Drop, what do you think of this segment with Drew as he was giving his reasoning for putting Cody through that table last week?
So this would probably have to be one of the things that I enjoyed from the show, and that's me saying that very lightly because there really isn't much I enjoyed on this show. But this was one of them because now you got Cody and Drew feuding, which is something I like. They have history. They were former tag team champions years ago. They did things on the Indies. They did things in Impact when they had their time over there. So these two guys definitely have a lot of familiarity with with one another. And also, you can't forget that promo they had at the Royal Rumble last year when him and Drew were talking. He had Drew's number last time with the remark where he says, "Oh, when me and you had a match last time, guess what happened? I won." That basically referencing that match that they had. If I recall, was that either at a Ring of Honor or TNA. I'm gonna say Ring of Honor because that's sort of, or NWA because Cody's been everywhere. So is Drew. So it's like, considering these two guys know each other very well, it gets me excited for the things that are in store. It makes a lot of sense when it comes to Drew's logics in terms of the extra miles that he had to go through in order to really put a stop to Cody when it comes to what Cody was doing with him. So I get his whole take on that, and it gets me very excited to see like what lengths it will go, because I'm with you there. I feel like there's more than just, oh yeah, let's just have Cody and Drew at Clash in Paris because we're in Europe and everything. I feel like this has a lot of potential to grow a lot bigger, because you don't always have to have one guy going after another.
Oh yeah.
They have a match at the PLE, it's over and done with, the other guy moves on. Like, this is one of their biggest stars in the company right now, so him going up against Drew would honestly be very good. That definitely want to see more.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, same here. Like again, this one has some legs to really stand on. So yes, please, for at least two. Give me two PLEs with these two facing off against each other, especially one that has some stipulations. That will be great. But Vash, talk to me. How'd you feel about all this?
So I agree with you guys. You guys hit it on the nail, and I think my theory is that if this match don't happen in Paris, it's gonna happen in the rumor match in the rumor PLE that's right now being talked about in September. I think September 20th or September 21st. That right now that might be the one where they might be having that match. If they do have one for Paris, it's probably be a small match, and then the next one would be the one for a stipulation. The only reason I say that is because right now, remember, our possible main event of the match is Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. So right now, that's our current possible main event of Clash of Paris. So we need to add other matches to fill in the gap. So I don't think we might have the word of the WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Maybe not defend his title, but it depends on the timing and how they have this build and how much they want to sell with Cody being hurt because of being thrown to the announce table right under. So it really depends on that one. But nonetheless, whenever it happens, I'm excited. I'm very thrilled. I want to see it. We have Drew, who's one of the big guys. I totally forgot. Thank you, Drop, for the reminder that Drew McIntyre and Cody was a tag team partners before back then. I totally forgot about that one, so that's a good reference on it. And I'm excited to see what Drew and Cody cooks up, because these two are longtime friends or co-workers, and I know that they've been doing this for, like you said, with a little small data that they've been noticing Impact and other indie shows. So to do this now on the big stage, I wonder what can they produce for us, because I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they can do. Not only just in the ring, just in promo battles as well. And yeah, not much to really go off right now because it's mainly Drew explaining his actions from last week. And I is Cody coming back next week? I don't know if they
They have
said
not been
anything. I know
promoted.
John's coming back.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Yeah.
John is coming back next week, because they spent a whole 6-8 minutes of a stupid video package about last week in the segment of the show, and I find that really dumb as hell. I send it in the Discord thread. It's like, why do we have a segment for this? And I love how Walker's response was, because, and just left me hanging. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
But what's the
because
They just wasted our time. It's okay. It's
yeah.
pointless.
Yeah,
it's fine.
like if
all
if
good.
anything, if
It's all
Cody,
good. Don't
they have-
worry. At least we didn't get it. Mhm.
But all I was gonna say was, yeah, it was all we know so far is John. But if Cody like were to come back, I would assume it would probably be unannounced, just to like attack Drew or do something in return, just based on what he did to him.
Yeah.
That's all I can really think of.
Yeah, that's really it. At least when it comes to like Cody coming back and all that. So yeah, we'll have to see how this story progresses. If it does get added to Paris, great, awesome. Would love to have it on Paris. But if it goes into that rumored PLE, because yeah, they want to keep counter programming AEW, why not put Cody versus Drew on that?
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Especially
The
them.
rumor that they're gonna be. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, especially those two. And especially if the other match on that card rumored to be Cena versus Brock. Yeah, go ahead and beef up that card a little bit if you guys, especially if you guys want to be counter programming another company. Yeah, you're gonna have
Agree.
to load up that show.
Good choices there. Good choices.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
want to see? Do I want to see one of them? No, but it's still good.
Yeah. But speaking of good choices, we're going to move on to our mid card stories now. And a group that's trying to make some good choices, but depending on the people that they're trying to beat up, it might not be a good choice in the end. We had the match, first of all, was Piper Niven versus Alexa Bliss. This is set up because of last week, with Chelsea just being a brave soldier as she is, trying to face off against Charlotte and eating a cake, an unpretty her cake. Like she put her life on the line for us guys. Like she did everything she could, and now her secret Hervits have to pick up the pieces and get vengeance on this horrid team that would do this atrocity towards our great and fearless former United States champion Chelsea Green.
By the
But
way, I love Wade. How he's so committed. He actually stands up and gives a salute.
mhm. Oh, trust me, I do too at home. Right, Sydney? Yeah, we stand up. We stand ourselves some Chelsea Green over here. But unfortunately,
Right in the comments that we need to see a video every week of walking, standing up, and giving the salute
do
to
it.
Chelsea Green.
I'll
Yeah.
do it. I'll post it on our Twitter page, maybe even our Instagram page. Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Weebs of the Ring. Anyways, so unfortunately, the numbers game isn't enough for the Secret Harvest to pick up the win. Alexa's able to get the roll of victory for the win, and the Secret Harvest and Chelsea Green end up beating down the champs anyways after the match. The match itself wasn't anything to really write home about. It was okay. And of course, the post match beatdown, it seems like Secret Harvest are actually going to be the first defense for Charlotte and Alexa, which fine. Give them a nice, easy win right there and just start their title reign off just easy, I guess. But yeah, not really feeling it too much here. But what about you guys? Vash, what do you think of all this?
Chat, if you want to know my thoughts, go to the Discord. The community is down below in the links. And check out the
No.
SmackDown thread. Because you know what? I literally said it. Hey, guys, I left when the match started. The bell rang. But then a minute later, it went to commercial break. After I came back after commercial break, because I was helping wife to prep dinner. And I came back. And I see Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Abba Fire attacking Alexa Bliss. And Chelsea Green just pushed Charlotte into the barricade, and I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? Did this become a DQ? What's going on? But then I find out the match was already over, and I'm like, I was not gone more than 5 minutes. What the fuck happened under 5? And it seemed like the match was done, the segment was done, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all I got.
I don't know.
comments.
Drop, do you have any other like any deep insights when it comes to this segment that we got with Alexa and Charlotte? I mean, hell, Charlotte did change her hair for a bit for
Yeah.
Alexa. They had the same hairstyle for a bit.
Yeah,
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I did see that. They both had pigtails, which looked, pretty cute and everything. But the only
Mhm.
thing I can
I
really say
approve.
about this is like I like seeing Alexa Bliss on my television. So whenever she has the opportunity to have a match or anything, I am always happy about that. And all I can really say here, if you want a little deep analysis of what WWE is trying to allude to, even though they make it super obvious every single time, is that the Secret Harvest is more than likely the next contenders for those tag titles. What this means for
yeah.
Chelsea Green, unless she's one of the partners, I don't know. But that definitely
Yeah.
seems to be like I would probably consider this a side quest for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte until they get like something that's more moving than this. Because
Mhm.
like here's the thing, we talked before about trying to improve the women's tag division, and they were doing it for a little bit when it comes to matches. I'm hoping there's more of a game plan outside of just I beat you or I attacked you, now you need to defend those title against us or whatever, because
Mhm.
there's just a lot of potential with this group with Alexa and Charlotte. I'm just hoping they don't just throw it out of the window, because so far it's working out pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. I hope they continue something with it because there's a possibility for a lot of tag teams to either be formed or for them to kind of play off of. I know what one rumor I did kind of see floating around is Rhea and Io kind of teaming up and like them going after Charlotte and Alexa, which on
Oh,
one hand, I mean, that's kind of relegating
I just
to.
thought of something.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
As soon as you said this, don't. So, in other words, is this potentially going to be a War Games match? Because the way that you worded that right now, you said that like
Yeah.
Io and Rhea might team up, which seems likely considering what's going on with the Kabuki Warriors. So what if it's one of those things where it's like Io, Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa against the Secret Harvest, and then you could have um Asuka and Kyrie there, and you probably throw another person for their side.
Y- Yeah. Yeah, you could.
So I'm not saying I personally want it, but that does seem like a
Yeah.
structure that they are doing.
I mean the other woman I would throw in with the face team would be Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah,
Like
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
like she would meld in quite well with that
Oh yeah,
face team.
oh yeah.
When it comes to the heel team though, like as much as I do like Piper Niven and Alba Fire, I don't know if I would have them in
Oh
the
no,
War Games match.
I wouldn't want
But
it either. But
No, same here.
yeah.
They're very weak in the star power, but also like
Yeah.
Abba Fire. If we had to choose one, I would choose Abba Fire because I know her history a bit from her world
Mhm.
title of 660 days in the UK. So I know a bit of that information. So I would like to, if we were gonna get that version of Abba Fire, yes. But if we're gonna get the current version of the her service of this kind of Abba Fire and Piper Niven, then no, I'm good.
Yeah, they would just have to boost Piper and Alba's stock up a little bit more for me to be like, you know what? Yes, exactly. And I mainly mean that in like the WWE main roster stock because I've seen some of Piper Niven's stuff outside of WWE. Yes, please give me more of that. Like again, it's just that just goes under that umbrella of like, hey, let these people like go out, like go all out and like actually show what they are capable of and all that.
yeah,
Yeah, so kind of like what Job said, just another side quest, kind of like that starter quest, if you will, for Alexa and Charlotte to kind of start their tag team title reign, hopefully going strong and all that. Because yeah, they
hopefully.
they are entertaining on screen together, and they do have some good chemistry with one another. So yeah, hopefully they can get through this first title defense. But of course, we got other things that we need to discuss when it comes to tag team divisions and all that because the men's side had some developments when it comes to the tag team division. We had Fraxiom taking on the Miz and Carmelo Hayes, and I refuse to call them the other name. No, that is a stupid name, and I don't like it.
I don't like it. It's cringe.
Yeah, it's very very like, oh, you're like as the kids say, "Oh, hi, Unc. How you doing, Unc? Oh, you're kind of cringe, Unc." That's what that freaking name just screams because of the Miz. But yeah, so a setup because hey, last week the Miz basically forced them into a tag team match. Whatever, cool, neat, whatever. I do like one thing though, and we saw this a couple times too tonight, where the Wyatts were like in the background for a few things. So like
Yes.
during this match, for example, they started playing mind games. They were like in the crowd, like in the stands and all that. Or there was a segment later on with the ladies where you see Nikki Cross in the reflection of the tractor trailer.
I didn't
It
catch
was
that one. I didn't see that one. No.
it was the segment with Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James. Yeah, because
Oh.
like I kept seeing like this reflection moving, and I'm like, what is that? Is that just lights just moving? And then I realized, oh wait, because I could see like the weird like makeup and all that shit. Um, yeah, it was Nikki Cross, and then the other segment with like Street Profits and the MFTs, because like Hikaleo like looks back, he's just like, huh.
I
All
catch
right.
something.
Yeah, he thought he caught something, and then you just see Eric Rowan step out with his
Yep.
big old hammer and all that.
So it seems like they're trying to tell something that's in the planning because it said like
Yeah.
it's all about the truth, it's all about betrayals. So like maybe Solo, one of them are not really a family, or Solo has betrayed others before in the past, like Roman Reigns and others. So it could be all those small things coming to bite them. The curious one is one we talk about later for the Tiffany Stratton and Nikki Cross, because I'm curious to see how is that involved, but we'll talk about that one later. But I do agree that I like the little Easter eggs that was spread around when it comes to the wives, because now they're being used in an overarching story, but it depends how it's going to be executed.
Yeah. So I think it also depends on who the number one contenders are going to be after that. So they're at least planting a bunch of seeds for any possibility when it comes to the tag teams and all that. But the match itself, I thought the match was good. All things considering, again, considering the WWE weekly tag team formula and all that. Yeah, I thought this one was really good. I kind of felt for Carmelo Hayes. He kind of took that
Really?
that reverse Spanish fly kind of rough on his head.
Yeah.
Like he kind of landed like on the top like dome part here. But it seemed like he was fine afterwards, so cool, neat, whatever. But the finish of the match though is mainly the talking point here, because like Carmelo and Miz, they're kind of arguing throughout the match, even though Fraxiom are able to just kind of dog walk them a little bit through the match. But the Miz and Melo obviously get the upper hand eventually, and they keep yelling at each other, or like they keep kind of being very standoffish with each other, and like especially during these blind tags that keep happening, and especially with the blind tag that happened at the end of the match where Melo's about to hit his finisher, and then Miz just tags himself in, hits a good old skull crushing finale, takes the win and all that, and Carmelo Hayes is just like, what the fuck, dude? I had that match won. I was gonna hit my finisher, and then you just come in and just steal the win. Like you literally stole my kill, dude.
Yeah.
He really
okay.
did.
It definitely feels like they're setting up a face turn for Carmelo Hayes, if I'm being honest.
They
I
really
hope so.
are.
I hope so.
They're definitely hitting. They're definitely setting up a face turn. They're trying to have all the building blocks lead to him eventually turning on Miz and then going face and everything, which I have nothing against, because he was a pretty good face in NXT when it comes to getting over with the crowd and everything. Like, don't get me wrong, Carmelo Hayes has a look, honestly, I would say, as a heel and a face. He definitely plays both very well, but I did enjoy his work a lot as a face, because I love the crowd cheering for him. I love them getting behind him. And I mean, you look at the backstage segments that they had tonight when it comes to how things were with Miz and Melo's relationship. I mean, the way that the Motor City talked to them, they weren't wrong, because he has this whole thing where it's like Melo's him, but they're saying, but is Melo his? Trying to pretty much like flip it on Melo, saying, are you your own person, or are you just doing his dirty work? So that's basically like the whole thing I'm looking forward to when it comes to Carmelo Hayes as a whole. Like, yes, the match itself had good things in between when it comes to what they were doing, because they're all good competitors in the ring. But the main topic of conversation, just like how I felt before many months ago when they were building to that whole Tiffany thing with Nia, with her eventually turning on him because of getting misused as well. The main the main highlight for me is, when is Melo gonna break? When is Melo just gonna turn on the Miz? Because you can only do so much until you eventually like break, like Tiffany did that one time, because he was just so fed up with Nia. So I'm hoping the same for him, because he definitely needs some sort of trajectory on that show. Because I mean, Melo realistically should not feel the way he is on SmackDown. He should be he should be above and beyond. He should be doing what he wanted to do, getting another US title opportunity. So
yeah, Like, just think about it. Like a year ago, like roughly about a year ago, he was having that best of 7 series with Andrade.
Yep.
Yeah. I think around a
And
year, around this time it started, like
yeah,
probably they would be like around 4 by now.
yeah, because around that time, LA Knight was the U.S. champion, and they were having like their back and forth and all that. Like, and then just think of a year later, he's kind of cooled off from that. I do like this story that we are doing with the Miz. I like how that's being structured with it, where it's like, okay, Carmelo, he keeps trying to get this US title opportunity, but the Miz is just like, oh yeah, no, we want the tag team titles, we want to be tag team because we're awesome. And it's like, oh, shut up, Miz. God, why are you so cringe
I don't
anymore?
like it.
But I do think it'll come to a head when they do end up having maybe a tag team title match where they actually do lose, and it's because of the Miz, but he ends up blaming Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo's just like, you know what? Forget you, eats a soup, gives Miz a super kick and just walks away. That'll get a huge pop, I think, because like even though they were in this hometown, Carmelo Hayes was getting some good pops tonight. People were chanting, "We want Melo."
Yep.
So actually listen to your fans. They're saying Melo, not Brock. Anyways,
Yeah.
but again, like I thought match quality it was pretty dang good. I know a lot of people are like praising the Miz for his little step up to break up the pinfall and tornado DDT. It's like, yeah, that was good. That was good. I feel like I've seen it before, but that's good. Good on Miz for coming in for work. Awesome. Love to see it. And yeah, I just want to see Melo with some title. I want him with some gold. I want him to have that confidence, that swagger that he had in NXT, that aura. Like there was a point in time where I was going to do a video series on who in WWE has conquerors hockey, and Carmelo Hayes was one of them. Keyword was
No,
because like
he is. I got you the perfect
Yeah.
example. He is Eustace Kid.
No, he is not. How dare you? That is a that is a detriment. You will not call him useless Captain Mid.
No. You
No.
call him Useless Kid. I call him Eustace Kid, the action name. Because thing is, Carmelo,
Action.
with all jokes aside, he
Action.
does remind me of him. Is because Eustace Kid, for anybody that don't read One Piece, is the type of character that has a lot of potential, but slightly is short by his shortcomings. That's what Carmelo reminds me of. That he has a lot of potential, a lot of heights, but he is being shortcomings not by himself, by the writers. AKA for One Piece is Oda being the writer. When it comes to Carmelo, is the WWE writers being shortcoming when it comes to Carmelo because he has so much potential. He used to uphold NXT for almost a good 2 years, right? A drop that I believe Carmelo was the face of NXT for almost 2 years.
Yeah, he was. He pretty much held the entire kingdom down there when it comes to him being a champion.
Yeah. Well, to kind of quote Dio with your comment on useless Captain Mid, muda 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 muda, which was useless. Yeah, so that's what Kid is. Anyways, yeah, I just want better for Melo. It sounds like we all want better for Melo, but at least they're doing something now. At least they're doing something. Hopefully they push forward with it and give us something really good to just enjoy for a little bit, I also like the revisionist history, or at least Wade Barrett on commentary still playing up the fact that Dexter Lumis kidnapped the Miz. Heavy on those quotation marks that he kidnapped the Miz back in the day, and Joe Tessitore not calling him out on that, being like, "Wait a minute, didn't Miz hire him to kidnap him?" Okay, no, all right, fine, well, cool, whatever. Just a shout out to that little aspect, but another shout out though is this banger of a match. Well, could have been more of a banger, but it's neither here nor there. Street Profits taking on DIY because they still kind of don't like each other, and we're gonna continue their storyline going forward, which is fine too. They do have a little bit of a backstage back and forth with the MFTs, but we had already mentioned that because Eric Rowan was in the back and everything. I thought the match was fine. I feel like they could have cooked a little bit more with the match, but at least having Candace out there running distraction and all that was at least something different from what we've seen between the two teams. But yeah, I mean, just nothing really too surprising or groundbreaking or like of note, I guess. Vash, what did you think of this?
Look, I love the Street Profits. I love when they say you don't want the smoke. Like the all tension, the build up, the acting, great. But I don't know, just something about this match was not hooking me in. I felt like something was distracting me or something was in the air that was not making this match entertaining for me as a viewer.
Mm.
No, no, I get that because I felt the same way, honestly. Like, I love the Street Profits. I love DIY. They always put on great matches. But again, it just felt like filler with some of these things that was going on tonight. Like,
Mhm.
I just wish there was like more room there, because it's like we've seen these guys go back and forth a lot now, and don't even get me started when we start Quickfire segments, because I don't even want to dive into that. But that's not even comparable to this, because at least I can tolerate this and it doesn't bother me really that much. But
Yeah.
I just want there to be more flair out of this. Like, what are you fighting for? Is there any, prize that is worth fighting for? Like, what's really going on here? Is this helping us find out who's the next contenders for the tag titles? Like, what's going on here? Like, that's what I want to know. What's going on? I mean, I guess throwing the MFT in there, I guess, spices things up a little bit, considering, they haven't really had as much history with them. So I guess you could dive into that. You got the Wyatt's involvement in there. So I guess there is like a few pillars there within it. But other than that, though, I don't really have much to say. I wish I could have more to say about this, but I don't.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, you see this on paper, it's just like, oh, Street Profits versus DIY. Hell yeah. It's like, what we got was just, it was okay. Like, it wasn't like god awful, but like nothing really just stood out from the match, which sucks. That it leaves a horrible taste in your mouth when you think back on it. But yeah, I mean, Street Profits pick up the win as they should, because pulling that forward momentum and all that. I'm assuming like once Miz and Melo are maybe done with Motor City Machine Guns, they move on to the Street Profits, and that's
Yeah.
when like maybe their downfall starts there. I don't know, or that it could start with Motor City Machine Guns, because they're actually a legit tag team, unlike the Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Yeah. So like as Drop had mentioned, we're now on to our quick fire segments. These are some quick little segments that took place backstage that weren't too long or too short. They were just right there in that nice sweet spot. Tiffy time is on everyone's time, as both Jade and Nia Jax want another shot at Tiffany Stratton. But of course, between dodging Mitchin's calls, Kiana James comes by Tiffany Stratton and lets Tiffany know, hey, you might need some muscle, you might need some help. Julia's more than welcome to, help you out and join you and all that. Just know, if you don't join us, Tiffany will be coming for you and your title. So, you could use my strength or you cannot use my strength. That's fine either way. And the other quickfire segment was R-Truth. He's just happy that his childhood hero is back. Aleister Black then confronts R-Truth, but Truth, he he doesn't forget. He's an elephant here. He never forgets. And we get a little tiny hockey clash between the two. And we get a match scheduled for next week, where I guess they're going to try to settle the differences. Great. Awesome. Fantastic. I don't have much to say on that R2 thing. but Nia Jax, get the hell away from the women's world title.
I don't even know why that was teased. Like, it doesn't even make
I
any
don't know
sense.
either.
Doesn't even make any sense why that was teased. Like, if you're not gonna have any created for her, then don't
Keep
have
her
her.
on NXT.
Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, exactly. She was just doing something in NXT, attacking people. So it's like, if you don't have anything interesting for her, then don't have her on television until you find out exactly what new creative that you could do. Because you could easily be using her to help build up someone else or having some other feud. Because Tiffany's beaten her like 2 times now, and now you want to potentially tease that and run it back. I mean, God forbid, we see a match announced next week where it's a #1 contenders match between Jade and Nia Jax for a shot at Tiffany. And I will quote what I say right here tonight in this episode if I end up seeing that as one of the matches announced on social media, or if we end up watching the show itself, because that definitely needs to be put to an end. I can understand if Jade wants to work up a little bit, maybe to get another shot at Tiffany, that's fine. But even I admitted last week that maybe hit him, maybe just chilling in the mid card for a little bit, especially if Kiana James popping up at her. Maybe that would be good to help establish that division that you have not done nothing with. So, but I will say I do like Kiana James. I feel like she's definitely playing her part well. That's what she originally wanted to do when she got drafted to Raw, but obviously things happen. But I will say I do enjoy what her and Julia are doing. So if I had to take one positive out of this, it'd be that. I do want to see Julia there, so hopefully we can get that question answered. But beyond that one little thing, I do like the whole Kiana James and Julia partnership, and the whole thing with Tiffany. I mean, Tiffany does what she wants, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And like the whole thing with Michin just honestly feels like the best way to put it is if you're watching a movie and you see like one of those side characters that are just still frame and they're not really moving, but the people that are important that the team is focusing on, they're moving, they're chatting, they're moving, the spark in a conversation. Like the WWE has been treating like Michin as like a side character. Like I want to care what she's doing when it comes to whatever she's doing on the show, but I just can't help but care. And I hate to say that, but she just doesn't feel as important the way that they're writing her on television. So that's how I feel about that. And then I'm happy that R-Truth is, back to himself, but I'm also glad that he found like a centerpiece as well when it comes to being the R-Truth that we know, but also having that serious side come out of him whenever it does, because of what occurred between him and Aleister Black tonight.
Almost like he has his own demon Finn Balor to himself,
Yeah,
where much. oh, you're getting me serious? All right, well, here's Ron the Truth Killings, not R-Truth. All right, bet. Let's get after this. Yeah. So Vash, what any notes you have on our quickfire segments that we had?
Look, for the quickfire segment, I have this. R-Truth, fuck yeah, my boy, you're back, and I love the transition, the attitude, the hat, even doing it, and Aleister Black just coming closer to him, like just seeing eye to eye, and just having R-Truth like, huh? What's up? Want to get the beat down right now? And I just love how the tone of attitude, the laid back, like if anybody just notice this small thing, R-Truth is a brilliant actress of knowing how to tackle the on-screen presentation. Like he was all playful, like I was glad to see John Cena's back. But once Aleister Black came, he changed his demeanor, went forward, fixed his posture, and just locked in directly and said, "I never said I wasn't back. Ron Killings is still here," and just giving the attitude, like, "Hey, I will still give you the slap of the century and bring you to next week." With a nation, and I just love the attitude. So I'm here for R-Truth. I love it. When it comes to Jade, can we just go to the opponents? Because Nia, while you're here as well, you already have lost 3 times in this 1 year against Stephanie. We don't need a next one unless you're gonna add a stipulation or a last man standing or Hell in a Cell. You gotta do some crazy stunts. All for it. But other than that, Nia, I don't need you. When it comes to Kiana James, I grew a drop. I've seen bits and pieces of her low degree type of angle when she is in NXT. That was always pretty cool to see. However, when it comes to the type of character that she is right now, I'm here for it. But why the fuck is the US champion of the women division now showing and coming to work?
You know.
That's the thing that I'm bothered. What's my critique in that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird because like Julia's barely been on the show much. I mean, she had her defense against Zelina and her shot at the women's US title before then. Like I don't know what it is whenever Triple H gives somebody a title, they just rarely appear on the show. Unless your name's Cody Rhodes, but that's a whole different subject.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I do wonder if the possibility if it's because of light or visa or anything like that, but we haven't heard any concrete information to know if that's an issue. But if it was, it would have been leaked out already by now, unless it's been told to keep it private until said day or until said time. It's just really interesting to know. And for those that didn't see the full SmackDown show, or in case you missed it, we're gonna have Naomi as well address the future of the Women's World Title on Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so take that
Well-
as you will.
No?
interesting.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Oh no, so what Vash said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought there was something else with it.
Yeah,
I thought-
Naomi's
yeah.
going to be addressing the future of the world title. It's going to be pretty
Yes.
interesting to know where it goes down the line. For those that don't know, if you've been online, there's some already assumptions / theories. We have no
Mhm.
confirmation, so please do not take this with concrete information that whatever you have seen has not been said by the two people that are probably thy father. If you have seen the show and understand our reference.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's SmackDown. That's SmackDown, everybody. Definitely a show you can just watch the highlights on. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it here. Go on their YouTube, watch their little highlights. Standout things for me, I think, were definitely the Drew promo. I thought that was really good. Having Sami on SmackDown is a plus in my book. Have him,
Oh, yeah.
working with other people, and maybe it will get the U.S. title. Who knows? I don't know. I don't book the shows. Whatever. Everything else, I mean, you guys heard about it. Mainly focusing on the tag team division this week. I'm assuming next week then it's gonna be more of like we'll have the women's title and hopefully the women's US title too next week, because that's one thing Triple H likes to do. He likes to focus on certain things each week, so at least things are different in that aspect. But like, you just gotta write a little better, dude. Like some of this stuff just like, why are we doing it this way? Why are we continuing the Miz and Carmelo Hayes? Why are we doing this thing with Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa? Like, just why is Gamora? That's all I ask. Just let me know why is Gamora. But Vash, what did you think of SmackDown tonight?
It was fun, entertaining. It was a good time. And can't wait for next week's SmackDown. By the way, chat, we will not be live for next week's Friday Night SmackDown. We will give another type of content, so stay tuned for that when it comes to that weekend of next week.
Yeah.
So we will not have a Friday night show because your boy Watkins will be at Anime NYC. So if you want to talk to us in person and actually go into a con, we will be around the area. I'm not attending the event. I don't have no tickets, but Watkins will be there, so say hi to him and everything. But when it comes to this Friday Night SmackDown, it was, like I said, fun, entertaining, and having a good time.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of good times around with some of the good stuff. But Drop, what do you think of SmackDown overall tonight?
So I'll say it was an okay show when it comes to what transpired tonight. Like I said, I have more questions than answers when it comes to the current product of the kind of things that they're trying to do. So I'm hoping we get some sort of answers with next week's show, because I would have to say I am looking forward to next week's show because John's on, so he can build whatever he's doing with Logan, which I am invested in whatever's going on with that. I'm hoping to see Cody more next week. So basically, what I'm trying to get at, I just want to see what happens on next week's show because I feel like
Mhm.
that might be the show that really makes me sink my teeth into like a lot of stuff that's going on. So yeah, I'll just say
Yeah.
this show had some good moments here and there, but for the most part, it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and at least it wasn't god awful. I'll say that. Like,
Yes, because we have had worse
yeah,
shows to cover.
yeah. It's just like for me, it's just like if you can't get any spark of emotion out of me, you kind of have failed as a piece of artwork. But that's neither here nor there because we've reached the end of our show, everybody. We've reached the end of the SmackDown talks, the end of the Weebs of the Ring Friday night shows, and the best thing to do is if you want to keep talking to us, find us on those social media outlets. But of course, I'm kind of a dum dum. I'm kind of like our truth in a way. Like I kind of forget things a lot. I kind of don't know where things are half the time. I don't know. I'm getting older. Like we're all getting old, but some of us a lot older mentally than others. But that's neither here nor there. So luckily, Vash, he's a good person to kind of ask about. Oh well, where can I find this? Where can I do that? And all that stuff. So Vash, where can these lovely people find us on all of the social media platforms?
Oh, Chad, you can follow us in the best way. If you want to see us on YouTube, we're live every week after the shows and be the after show of the pro wrestling world. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this at Weebs of the Ring handle on the social media side of Twitter, IG, and TikTok. You can also find us on the audio feed, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, etc. We can find us in the audio side. The same show you listen to right now, you can have it on the audio side. Right now, we have a slight delay, so go check out the most episodes right now currently on the audio side. The rest will be coming in September, so stay tuned for those. And we appreciate for everyone if you follow the social media, like we said, but also check out the Twitter because right there we also send the tweets when we're live and about to do our discussion. So hopefully everyone enjoyed this hour and 10-minute show. We have a good discussion about SmackDown, the pros and the cons, and overall we just had a good time.
Mm. Yeah. Yep. Most certainly did have a good, as the Flintstones would say, a gay old time. So, yep. With that being said, thank you everybody for taking time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, again, do exactly what Vash told you to do. Follow all those links, follow all those handles, use that hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us before, during, or after these shows. And it's also a great way to give us some feedback because, hey, we're nothing without you guys tuning in, and we love to continue to get our stuff together and continue to get better as we continue this show. Weebs of the Ring is presented by AniMa W3 Studio. Thanks, of course, to our production team for all of their hard work that they put in for the show. Thank you once again for joining us. And remember, as always, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Have a good night, everybody.
Good one, guys.
Take care.